January 2025 is over, and there was never a month in my life where I worked that much. It's ridiculous. So some quick stats before we jump in. This month I had a total of 316 hours and 39 minutes of focused work. That is 10 hours and 12 minutes on average every day, including weekends, so also Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, if you don't believe me, I published the CSV of my time tracking app, and yeah, so like you can see what exactly I spent my time on, like how those 316 hours and 39 minutes came to be. Yeah, the bulk of my time this month I spent on courses from my university. I study artificial intelligence, and from Harvard University, because I do online courses. They have some really good free online courses. Yeah, mainly the ones I did were this month computer science and Python programming. My 3 main achievements this month were, first, that I managed to do a 7-day fast, so no food at all for 7 days, which was surprisingly amazing. I will talk more about this later. Second, that I kind of managed to finish a whole semester in this 1 month. Well, not all, it was just 4 courses, but in those 4 courses I got 9 points, 9.5, 9.5 and 10. In the Dutch grading system, 10 is the highest grade you can get, so those are really good grades. And like the third one is maybe the biggest or most important one, that I kind of feel like I 10x'd my understanding of biology. I took a biology fundamental introduction to biology course, and yeah, it's such a level difference that now if I watch talks about longevity or I listen to podcasts, I finally start to feel like, okay, yeah, I understand what they're talking about, and it's not like they're talking a completely different language. So those were the main stats for this month. If you just come for this, you can click off now. But if you're interested in my personal reflection, how I feel about what I've learned, how I feel about my progress, yeah, maybe also my main learnings, then you can stay with me a little bit longer. Also, let me introduce myself. Hey, my name is Elias Lee, and my goal is to make aging and death completely optional. If that sounds crazy to you, I made a video where I explain my reasoning for why I chose this as my life goal. How do I plan to achieve this? So, short, 2 steps. Step number 1, I want to build a world-class understanding of biology and computer science, specifically artificial intelligence and machine learning. This is also what I spent the bulk of my time on this month. And I plan to spend the bulk of my time on for the next year. Yeah, step number 2 would be to find and join an extraordinary team of people that are as ambitious and motivated as I am, because I believe that to become really great, you have to be surrounded by great people. I thought a bit about how I want to talk about my month, and I think it's good if I start with the story of how this year started for me. So, New Year's. Essentially, after I came back to the Netherlands from after Christmas, my fridge was completely empty, and I ate a lot because at home there was a lot of good food, Christmas, and so I decided that I want to do a fast. Because yeah, it's the perfect moment. Fridge is empty. I feel like I ate a lot in the last days, and also none of my friends are there. And usually I always have dinners with my friends, and if my friends are not there, like why should I eat at all, you know? So I plan to do a 3-day fast. After 3 days, actually on the second day, I started to feel kind of a difference. I started to feel really focused. And that was very cool because at that time I was mainly studying for a biology exam, for an introductory biology course that I took at my university. And yeah, there was just zero distraction anymore. Like usually if I work, there's like from time to time or relatively often there's like thoughts pop up and I'm just distracted, then I think about something else and I'm like, oh no, but I'm studying now. But in that time that I didn't eat at all, it was like my whole mind quieted down. Like all those voices that like distract me, like they were like quiet. It was like so hyper focused. And yeah, in general, like my whole life got so quiet when I stopped eating because there was literally nothing else I did for for those days, but work out, and sleep. So yeah, woke up in the morning at 8, went to my computer, started working, maybe, I don't know, 4 hours. In between, when I felt like I can't focus anymore, I did pull-ups, push-ups, some training. Then I worked for another, I don't know, 4 hours. Then I went to the gym, and then I worked for another, I don't know, 4 hours, and then 12 hours were over. Like the day is over, and I went back to sleep, and that the same thing like happened like day after day after day. And every day that I fasted longer, I felt like this focus was, I don't know, getting stronger. It's like really like I got into like a trance. Like I did nothing but this work. And so New Year's, on New Year's, I did exactly the same as I always did on those days. So essentially I worked till 11:50 and then because I did so many little workouts in between, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go shower before I go to bed. And I went to shower, and while I was in the shower, I started to hearing the rockets outside. So I spent New Year's under my shower, and yeah, then at I think 12:04, I went to bed. At the next day, at 8 in the morning, I woke up again. I went back to work, and so yeah, this is how I started this year, and I just kept this going. So the fast, I told you that I only wanted to do 3 days, but because this focus was feeling so, like, it was so good, and at the same time I was curious like what would happen like if I go longer. So I prolonged this planned 3-day fast to a 7-day fast, and on day 7 that was the day where it was really, I think that was a bit too much. Also because on day 6 I went really, really hard in the gym, and also really long sauna session, like heavy squats, and yeah, I'm not sure if that was the right decision on day 6, but I wanted to see what my body still is able to do after 6 days with no food, and I'm very surprised. Yeah, on day 7 in the evening, I was really like, my brain was craving some, I don't know, some distraction maybe, because in those 7 days, none of my friends were here, so I essentially had no human contact, and this was fine for a couple of days, but in the end I was like, yeah, I crave talking to somebody. Like I crave just having some interaction, and I was also really happy that I can start eating again, and also I knew that like in the next days my friends will slowly start to arrive again, and it's gonna be fine. But yeah, on that day I really felt like, okay, I hit a limit here. Like 7 days of pure work, no human interaction, like workout and sleep. That is like, that was, I think, too much. Like this was not sustainable, but it's super cool that I tried this because I want to know how much is sustainable for me, like what level of output I can do, and I think that that was really really good experience to see, like, okay, this is what I can do. I am able to do this, but this is not sustainable. I don't want to live like this. Actually, I do want to live like this kind of, but I need at least some social interaction. And so after the fast, my friends started coming back, and I started having dinners again. And essentially what I usually do is that I kind of never eat alone. I only eat once a day, and this one dinner I usually invite a friend, or I eat somewhere with a friend. And so that helped me so much, and I could really see the difference between like the fast and now that I eat once a day with a friend for like 2 hours. Is still kind of, I still do the same amount of work. Like I still work on average 10 hours a day, sometimes even more. And this, just the fact that I have this one dinner with a friend for like 2 hours where we just talk and maybe discuss something, or I sometimes also I just call somebody. I call my family, and while I eat, I talk to them. But I never eat really alone, and this helps me to keep me sane so much. So yeah, that was a big learning, like especially with the fast and seeing like how far I can push myself. Like yeah, I think I could push myself harder, but in the end, it would like this would subtract so much from my happiness. Like actually, I couldn't push myself harder because I have to eat. So, but of course, I could have fasted for like 3 more days and kept going. But like this was the point I noticed. Like this is like getting into burning myself out and like losing the joy. Like I can keep the joy with 12-hour work days, but I have to have one dinner a day with a friend. And then I can really like, it's so fascinating how much work I feel I can do while keeping the joy. And yeah, I remember that a couple of months ago for me, like, I don't know if you have ever really tracked your time, but it's incredibly hard to even get 8 hours of focused work. Like if you're in like your workplace for 8 hours or for 10 hours, like even like if you're at your workplace for 10 hours, I promise you don't do 8 hours of focused work, because like it is so hard to keep like all those breaks that you think are not so much, like they sound like crazy. And so for me, I was always like, yeah, okay, 8 hours is hard to get, but possible. 8 hours of focused work per day. 10 hours is crazy good day. And my best day ever was 12 hours. And now this month I had like consistently, I had like a week where my average was 11 and a half hours, I think. And I had days with 13-hour work. And the best about this is that I feel like it's sustainable. So because of those dinners with friends, I feel like, yeah, this is sustainable. And I kind of feel like I found the way I want to live my life, at least in the next couple of years. Yeah, it's just, I don't know why, but it makes me so happy. Like sometimes in the evening when it's like 11, so I always work till 11:45 or something. Maybe like I will try to work a bit shorter now so I can do some stretching in the evening. But when I'm done with like a crazy hard work day and my brain is like buzzing, it's completely fried from all the coding, all the biology, all the whatever, I'm brushing my teeth and I'm dancing in the bathroom, because it's like, I'm so, I don't know, it's like I'm so proud of myself that I managed to do all this work that, yeah, it really makes me feel, yeah, I don't know, something is there that is like deeply fulfilling to me. And so I want to explore how hard I can push it, and yeah, how much I want to, I don't know, like how long I want to sustain this. And like for now, I think yeah, this is kind of the way I want to live. Like it's so much fun to me. Yeah. So what else did I write down? Yeah. One thing was that I had my exams this month, and I thought really like this time I pushed myself too hard. Like I literally, like for some exams, like I had like a week before the exam, I started to look at this lectures for the first time. But by the fact that I worked so much, I made incredibly fast progress. And in the end, like where I had like some days where it was like, fuck, I have 3 exams in the next week and I didn't really start studying for any of them. And yeah, because of, I don't know, maybe because of this output that I had, like the amount of work that I did. But in the end, like a couple of days before the exam, I was kind of done with studying. I already knew everything. I was really confident. I have like my flashcards and stuff, so I really knew that like I know, like I understand everything that they explained in this lecture, and I like all the important stuff. I know that I know it. So I did CS50 courses again, actually in the days before the exam, which was really surprising to me. after I finished the courses for my university, I started to do after I finished the courses for my university, I started to do longevity courses. So I did Longevity 101 by longevity.degree. I have like a fancy certificate now. Yeah, that course, it was okay. And I really started looking into what LBF, the Longevity Biotech Fellowship, has like on their website. And I think the best thing that I found this month was the talk by Markham Lyon, the talk on the longevity roadmap. And this was extremely good. Like I literally spent, I think, like 3 days on this 1.5 hour video, because I, like, every slide had like, you have to imagine me, really beginner in biology and everything. And so he's like saying like one little sentence is there on the slide. It's like one little fact about like, okay, how proteomics did like this and this, and I don't know. And for me, it's like, what even is proteomics? I don't know. So I started looking that up. I really tried to understand every word in the slide, and this made it take forever, but like it was so worth it. And I think for everybody that wants to start out working on longevity, this is an amazing talk, and I can highly recommend watching this talk and really taking the time to really trying to understand this. So Markham Lyon's talk, Roadmaps on Longevity, is on the LBF website, so Longevity Biotech Fellowship. And also they have like their roadmap, which I think is really amazing, which I use to build kind of my longevity battle plan. So like the steps I want to take to become world-class at biology. And yeah, it's mainly biology and longevity science, their roadmap, and I have a separate inspiration for my battle plan to become world-class at machine learning and artificial intelligence, computer science. So other courses that I took, CS50X, so computer science by David Malan, and CS50 Python. Those, both courses from Harvard, both online courses that are free, and I highly recommend this to everyone. Like, they're really good courses. There's a lot of effort going into those courses, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I think especially because like you get a lot of programming tasks that are like, I think they help you really learn stuff, because otherwise, like, yeah, of course you can listen to a guy talk about how programming or computer science works, but you actually, like, I think probably around 70% of my time or 80% of my time I spent on actually coding, like the time I spent on this course, and only 20% of the time on watching the lectures. Or like, yeah, probably it's a bit more lectures, but I spend a huge chunk of my time on coding, and I think they're really amazing courses. And yeah, everyone that feels like, okay, I want to learn a bit more about computer science, like especially CS50X, yeah, highly recommend it. So this was kind of my short or maybe a bit longer summary of January 2025. If you want to get to know me a bit better, I made another video for this. It should be here on the screen or maybe below this video. And yeah, see you February 2025. If you're not on my website it's going to be like ordered very well. So also link in the description. See you. Bye bye.